First things first. I don't know what that was. First things first, I am recording in a new area, so I don't know if I'm going to like this. The room is not new. The way that I'm recording is new. And for those of you that don't know, this is the February challenge. This is the 27th day of the February challenge where I am recording every day about a topic that pops up in my analytics, and that is what I'm doing. Also, if you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Many people are watching that are not subscribed. And lastly, I have a membership that I would love for you to join if you are interested. I'm trying to get 5 to 7 members to join. And I'm also trying to get to 2,000 subscribers. So that is my goal. That is what we're doing. That is what you're here to see. I will be honest and say, as this series is starting to kind of wind down, my options are kind of getting a little blah. And yeah, so I don't really know what I'm going to do with that. The other thing is too, is I am recording in cinematic view. I've never recorded in cinematic view before, ever, for my YouTube channel. So I am either going to love this or hate this. And that's just going to be what it's going to be. It's weird looking at myself because it's tracking me. There's a square. So it's a little weird. So we'll just do it that. I have lighting behind the camera, so we'll see what happens. But anyways, this is the February challenge. So let me see what my options are because my options are getting terrible. So far, okay, literally my options. Listen to my options. Wisconsin high school football, Florida Gators football spring game, most underrated football clubs. Pretty sure that is soccer and not actual American football. College football national championship game, for God's sakes. It feels like that's something that I cannot get rid of. Football true or false. Football match winner prediction. So I have 2 soccer things here and I have other things. Yeah, so I don't know. So I just clicked down to see the last 12 or the last 6. So the other 6 are What the Football Podcast, Nebraska football recruiting news, best college football games this year. Already did that. Already did Nebraska. Seattle news and rumors today. It's actually interesting that Seattle is here. That's very fascinating. College football national championship game. Football team discussion. So honestly, these are not very good. So the good news is this video should be short because my options are not very good. So I don't know what to do, honestly. You know what? Football true and false. I don't really know how I can do this. So how can I do college or football true and false if I don't actually have people that are asking me stuff? Maybe I'll do my own true false. That's what I'll do. I will make this my own true false game. Yes. As I'm rocking back and forth. Okay. So what I'm going to do is this is going to be my own football true and false. And I feel like this might get petty. I hope it doesn't. Okay. It's not going to be petty. Okay. So let's see. My first true or false game. True or false. The Kansas City Chiefs will go to the Super Bowl next year. I'm going to go false. I'm going to go false. I don't think the Chiefs are going to make it to the Super Bowl next year. Yeah, I'm going to go false. True or false, the New Orleans Saints are going to be better next year than they were this year. I think I'm going to give a false to that. I think the Atlanta Falcons might do something this year. I'm not saying they're going to. I think they might do something this year. I like Michael Penix, so I'll go with that. True or false, are the San Francisco 49ers done? I'm not a Brock Purdy fan. Brock Purdy is their quarterback. I feel like there's barriers to what Shanahan can do. So I don't want to say that they're done, but yeah, I don't know. So I'll leave that one. So true or false? I mean, I'm going to go with true on that one. True or false? The Steelers suck. That is absolutely true. True or false? Mike Tomlin is going to piss me off all year, and he's going to make me... I think he's going to piss me off this year. I think that's actually true. I think Mike Tomlin's going to piss me off this year. So that is true. That is absolutely 100% true. True or false? Will the Texas Longhorns win the national championship in 2026? In 2026. So the answer to that is probably false. I'm going to say false. I'm going to say the Texas Longhorns will not win a championship in 2026. So, you know what's interesting? I think if I was making a list of teams, I would think if I had to list the top This is actually me rambling. So there's true, there's false, and me rambling. If I had to make a list, I would say Notre Dame, Penn State, Texas. Those might be the only three teams that I would say as of right now, I would be concerned about or interested in seeing. Maybe even a Clemson. I think, okay, so if you were to ask me, who do you think the top 4 teams are right now with college football? I would say, in no order, I would say Notre Dame, I would say Penn State, I would say Texas, and I would say Clemson. And the main reason why I would list those 4 teams is only because of the quarterbacks. Meaning, I know Arch Manning wasn't the starter last year, but Arch Manning got in some starting games last year. Arch Manning got to start. He was the first start in our first ever SEC game in football. He started against Louisiana Monroe. I'm not saying Louisiana Monroe is good. I'm just saying he got some starts last year. And Penn State and Notre Dame and Clemson are all bringing back their quarterbacks. The other thing I'll say here too is Clemson plays in the ACC, so there's that. The second thing I'll say is we've all seen Texas's schedule in the SEC, so I'll say that. The other thing is Notre Dame, if that quarterback can kind of figure out some things with that offensive line, with that defense, like I really like Notre Dame. I think Notre Dame is onto something. And then Penn State, like we always say, like Penn State, great offense, great whatever, but they it's the big time games. They always lose to Ohio State, Michigan, and probably Oregon, right? So but this year, I don't know. I like Penn State. I like what they're doing. I like their offensive line. I like the guys they brought back. Yes, they've lost people to the draft, but we've all lost people to the draft. So if I had to pick 4 top teams right now in college football, I would say Notre Dame, Penn State, Clemson, Texas. Again, only because of quarterbacks, the quarterbacks that I remember and the things that I'm thinking about. I know a lot about Texas, so it's easy for me to say Texas. And I think Clemson, all the guys last year that were young are now a year into, and I really like Klubnik. So, and they play in the ACC. So those are the teams that I would say right now. Do I think Miami's going to disappoint me this year in college football? Will the Miami Hurricanes disappoint me this year? True or false? Will the Miami Hurricanes disappoint me this year? Okay, you know what? I'm going to say false. They better not make me regret this. I'm going to say the Miami Hurricanes will not disappoint me this year. So false. How many teams, true or false, will Alabama be better this year? Ooh. What were they last year? 9-3. It's kind of funny. I'm talking about a team not being good last year, and they were 9-3. So will Alabama be better this year? So my issue with Alabama is I don't know who the quarterback is going to be, and I don't trust what they got going on right now. So I'm going to say true or false. Will they be better? Will they be better last? Well, okay. So they lost to Vanderbilt. They lost to Oklahoma. So yes, I'm going to say that Alabama will be better than they were last year. Yes, I will say yes to that. I will say yes. Will Mississippi State win an SEC game this year? I have no idea who Mississippi State plays this year in the SEC, and I hope that they win a game this year, and I hope that it's not against Texas. So I'm going to say true. They will win one game in the SEC. They will win at least one game in the SEC this year. So that is true. So I'm going with true there. True or false? The Big 12 will continue to be a mess. You know what? I don't know. Okay. The problem with these conferences is the way that they're structured. There's too many teams. There's too many teams in these conferences, and all the teams don't play each other. And so it's if you're just looking at a conference, you would be like, okay, if I just look at teams, I'm like, okay, Texas Tech has done a great job recruiting this, that, the third, right? But at the same time, if I look at Texas Tech's schedule, which I don't have, I'm wondering how many teams Texas Tech plays that also have a tough schedule. So it feels because I watch Colorado, I know for a fact this year, Colorado has a lot of the top teams that they're going to play this year. Not to mention Georgia Tech, because Georgia Tech's in the ACC, but they have Iowa State, they have BYU, they have Kansas State, they have Arizona State. Those are 4 teams that finished ahead of them or whatever in the Big 12 last year. So if I'm looking at this, then I would say that that's going to be false, and that it's not going to. It's going to work itself out because these teams are now playing each other. But then you have a Texas Tech and a Baylor, and I don't know who they play. So the truth of the matter is, what happens is, because these teams don't play each other, because everyone's not playing the same schedule, it's really hard to know how to rank these teams because it's weird. Like back in the day, everybody used to play everybody. So I could say like, okay, Texas is 7-2 against this schedule. Oklahoma is, 8-1 against this schedule. Kansas State is 6-3 against the schedule, but we all played the same people. So you know who first, second, and third is because we all played the same type of people. So the way it is now, I don't know. It's so confusing. So I don't even know if I should say true or false. I don't really know what to say to that. So I'm going to say, just because of what I just broke down, I'm going to say true. The Big 12 will be a mess. Just like the ACC will probably be a mess. Just like the Big 10 will probably be a mess. And just like the SEC will be a mess, because I think there's too many teams and these teams aren't playing each other. I think each division needs to go back to like East, West in conferences, or North, South, or however they want to do it. And I think those pockets of teams should all play the same people. Whoever's the winner is whoever's the winner. And that's just how it should roll, because that shouldn't eliminate you from the playoffs, but they've got to do something. They have to fix the way these conferences are setting, because I don't like them. So yeah, what other true or false thing can I say this year? True or false? The Steelers will piss me off. That is true. I've already said that, and I will continue to say that. True or false with my Texas Longhorns? What can I say? True or false? True or false with the Texas Longhorns would be, I don't know. Texas, it's kind of funny because this year Texas is my wild card. Like, I don't know what I'm going to get from Texas this year. Like, it's weird. I've had so many expectations, and by now you have seen the video that I made yesterday of me just like completely being a fangirl and being absolutely freaking ridiculous. But the truth of the matter is, like, I don't know what I'm going to get from Texas. So I don't even know what to say, true or false. Let's say, I know. Okay. So I could do two. Okay. So I don't know. Like, I don't know what to say about Texas right now. So I don't know. So no true or false for Texas. True or false, Texas is going to piss me off next year. I think true, because all my teams piss me off, but I don't know the reason why they're going to piss me off. It's going to be something that I'm not thinking about they're going to do, and I'm going to be like, why the F did they do that? Oh, Sark still sucks in the red zone. Yes, that is going to piss me off. So yes, if Sark doesn't improve in the red zone, I am going to be pissed off. So yes. So that is this episode of me honestly just rambling. I'm not talking about anything great here. This actually probably might be my worst video where I am just talking and ranting and talking about whatever. But the truth is, my options are just not very good. And I have tried to set this up and manipulate my analytics a little bit by dropping a Texas video, by talking about football, and seeing if I can get something good for my final video. And that's just where we're at. So here I am. So I'm going to end this video here. If you haven't already, don't forget to like this video. If you want to do a true or false with me in the comment section below, don't forget to add our true or false. I will give you a true or false. The only thing I ask is if you have a true or false in there, you have to give me 2 options, true or false. Do you think Colorado will win more than 9 games? True or false? Do you think Texas is going to go to the national championship? True or false? Do you think that we should be worried about Indiana this year? False. I don't think you should be worried about Indiana this year. You know what I mean? Like, I need to have them like be very easy for me to say true or false. If you want to, you don't have to, but I'm going to stop talking. Hopefully this turns out well. I don't really know if I love the blurred background. It's a little weird, but don't forget my membership. Also, if you're interested in that, I did just post a video on that the other day, and I won't talk about what I said, but anyways, it is what it is. Thank you for watching. This will be the next to the last episode where I will have to record all day, where I have all of my big clothes on, where I'm talking to the camera randomly in awkward positions and standing. And yes, I'm standing. It is what it is. And I'm going to end this video here and stop rambling.